What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and today we're going to be checking out a Chia miner from Bitcoin Merch. Now, if you haven't heard of Bitcoin Merch, they are most popular known as the solo Bitcoin miners or the lottery miners. So right here we do have a Tomahawk. I will have a link to the Bitcoin Merch store down in the description, so be sure to check it out. These two here, this is the Mars Lander, the original one, and this is the version 2. Now you can upgrade the original to version 2, and it offers an expansion slot, so you can expand to more USB miners. You can run it all off an app instead of within the SD card and everything that I had before, so it makes things a lot easier. This is the Tomahawk. It's a much more efficient miner, but it is not expandable. But you can get all these over at Bitcoin Merch as well, and I will be looking at these products in a later video at another time. But right now, let's get into this Chia miner and see what we got looking at here. So before we open up this box here, I want to go through the power supply. So obviously we got our power supply right here, and it has a barrel plug on one end, CL14, which does come with a CL13 to a standard North American 120 volt plug, which we see right here. And then we have the barrel plug that will split into multiple barrel plugs for multiple drives for expansions and so on. So that's a quick overview of the power here. You know, it's pretty basic what we got going on over there. Let's see what we got going on inside of this box. Bitcoin Merch does have some nice packaging. See if I can do this one arm. There we go. And okay, so that's it. So this is an evergreen miner. So Bitcoin Merch must be selling evergreen miners kind of labeled under their own. So here is an NFT, kind of get the shine away from it. So this looks like this will actually give you the Bitcoin Merch skin inside of your evergreen app. So yeah, this is pretty much all it is an evergreen miner available at Bitcoin Merch. If I can get some focusing going on here, it looks like we have a 9 terabyte drive, I think is what this is, as well as the version. Oh my gosh, why won't you focus? All this dark lighting here happening. So this is the version 3. It does work with compressed plots, and all the future expansion plots here, which is your 20 terabyte drives and so on, they're all compressed. So you actually have a lot more plots than the original ones. So you should, in theory, get a little more profit out of it. So we do have compressed plot support with the version 3 Chia miners, and the orange one I do believe is also the Voscoin Tails version of it, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It isn't labeled as Voscoin or anything at the Bitcoin Merch site, but it is a Bitcoin Merch Chia miner. So I do have 2 evergreen Chia miners here, but if we look on the top right here, this is my base where it has, you know, everything that's happening within it, all your software and support. This one is only the V1 and it runs off a USB-C. Now I do believe it did get a software update on their end to make it the compressed plot version. But what I'm going to try to do for the setup process for this, because a lot of you might already have a Chia miner, but it's pretty much going to be the same thing minus making your own account, because I already have an account in their app. I'm going to see if I can just use the new one from Bitcoin Merch and plug it into here, and then use the expansion plots here as well with it. In theory, it should work, and all the plugs will match up, because right now I'm kind of using too many plugs here. I got different power for the base right here, and then I got different power going on for the actual drive. So because the other one does have the splitter for up to 4 or 5 drives, and they're all barrel plugs, I might remove it, and then I can just use that orange one there, the new V3, instead of this USB-C, and I'll just get rid of this evergreen one completely. So here I am inside of the app of the other evergreen that I actually have, and we can see everything that's kind of going on here. If I go into my wallet here, you can see I have my wallet name, rabidmining, and everything. So I'm just going to plug in this new one, see if I can link this app to it, and if everything connects good, we should be good to go on using the new orange V3 plotter here. Okay, I lied. This isn't actually a plotter. So what it is running on a light version of the Farmer. So you guys may have remembered FlexPool. They shut down recently now though, but they had their Flex Farmer. This is now running off a new Evergreen Farmer, I believe. And you do have the option to switch pools and stuff. It's all based off like an NFT smart contract type of thing. So you just swap pools over and everything, but it's just a light farmer. It's not a plotter or anything like that. It just has everything within it to read the drives and begin farming process for all the expansion drives. All right, so we're going to do a quick setup here. So this cable right here, we got the USB to this power type of adapter right here. Is going to be the communication between your hard drives here and the actual base that does the farming. So I'm going to plug this in right quick. Obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory. USB goes here, and this different end will just plug in right there. From there, I will then just take our barrel plugs, I'll connect them together, plug these into here for power, and then we'll simply plug this in and see if my app will detect this. You do have to make sure, obviously, you are on the same network when looking for your Chia miner. Okay, so you can see this cable here is the communication between these two, and then I got my power here. I still got to plug in our Ethernet cable, but I did plug it in. We got power going. We can see our power supply is on, and there's still enough for 3 more expansion drives, which I have in the other room. Well, I got 2 more, not 3, but we should be able to power everything that I have within this one splitter type of cable here. So now I'm just going to plug in our internet here right quick and see if we can get a communication to the app. So now we got the power in. I'm going to switch this around just to kind of see what things are looking like. So we see an orange light up top there. It's actually red. The camera's making it look like it's just a white orange light, but it is a red light so far as it's updating and stuff. Now it's blue, now it's blinking, it's doing its thing. As for power, currently, we are currently using about 14 watts here, 15 watts. Okay, so I am inside of my device with the app loaded, and I'm gonna go into settings here, and then I guess manage evergreen could be it. And down below, yeah, we can see add new device. So I'm gonna click on that, and it's looking for new devices. So let's see if this device is actually detected or not. Wait for it to do its thing. 39%, 50%, 61%, 73%, 84%, 95, and 100. Now it's back to 0. Uh-oh, are we failing here? So it's looking for devices yet again. So hopefully this ends up working. Okay, so it does look like it found a new device. The EVG numbers are different than my original, so awesome. So I ended up just going back to my wallet by going to home here, and it's saying device installation. So it looks like it's just doing everything it needs to do. I might not even need to set a pooler or anything because it might be using all my same settings and wallet addresses from my previous miner that's already set up. But again, I won't know until it's done installing. So the installation did finish, but it is telling me to connect my drives. But I do have this drive connected here. So I'm going to unplug the whole thing and power it back up. It might need to boot with the drive installed in order to do something. When I plug this in, the light right there does flicker, but then it just shuts off. I've been waiting for about 5 minutes and it hasn't turned on or anything. So I am just going to reboot it here by unplugging it and plugging it in and see if it did need that to actually boot with it to detect it. Okay, so I do see a flashing green light on the hard drive now. So something is going on here. It should all be detected at this point, in theory anyway. All right, so I clicked on the connect drive thing. I got a check mark. Now we need to set up farming. So I'm gonna click on that and it says select your desired payout address. Payout is that one. I think you have multiple addresses depending on your wallet accounts. If we click over here, we can see, yeah, there's various wallet addresses right there. So I'm just going to use the address that's in here. It's all on the same private key, but we have multiple different addresses that we can use. So I'm just going to hit the submit button. I could probably just copy and paste in any of my wallet addresses and it will work, but I'm just going to set it up by one of these pre-built in here because it's all based on the same seed and everything. All right, guys, so I got everything up and running. One thing I want to point out is to set it all up and everything after that last process. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I kept rebooting it, and then finally I was like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it. And it took like 24 hours or all night or something. It took a long time until it actually went through. And now everything seems to be working. If I go to my home here, we can see that it is farming away. Now you can pick between multiple miners. I did remember that when you do get expansion plots, they are tied to the individual hub, unless the compression plots, you know, it's been over a year since I actually played with this. So I'm going to have to look into a lot more information because I do want to expand my Chia farm moving forward because of the low power that it actually uses. So you are pretty much, even though it doesn't look like much, I don't have much. I only have like 9 terabyte and 11 terabyte drive here. We see 11.9. and a 7.9, which is 9 terabytes from the Bitcoin merch one there. But they're hardly using any power, but it's only making like 11, 12 cents or something. But you can switch between the two like so. So here, if I want to look at my other hub, I just click up here. Now that one's selected. And now I can just simply bring it on back here by hitting the back button and then hit this, and that'll switch over to my other farm. So now we can see that one's making 9 cents. I'll come in, manage evergreen, scroll down to the new one we just got here, and then scroll back on, and then this one is only making 6 cents. So you can swap between the two. Another thing, I am on separate addresses, as I mentioned earlier. You can put them all on the same address because they are within the same private key. This is all the same wallet, just different addresses. This is if you want to keep them separate and kind of look at multiple farms, or you can simply go into here and then run into pool configuration, wait for it to do its thing, and you can actually change the wallet address. I got all mine on the K2 one, so if I take this, and it's kind of hard to do over the phone and the camera, it's click. There we go. There we go. So it's not letting me choose it right now. Oh, never mind, it's down at the bottom. I'm just blind. So down here we can see that if I go to, they're all using this one as well as my PC, which only has a 4 terabyte drive, but they're using this address. If I select that address right here, just simply highlight it like so, and then go back, submit that, let it submit and do its thing. Yes, change. I'm going to go back to the other one now. I'm going to change over the other farm. It's hard to see everything. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. You guys are probably hating me right now. Go to Evergreen. Now I'm going to go to the other one here, and now I'm going to configure this one, pool configuration. And now we're going to select the address, and down below we're going to pick the same one below. So, oh my gosh, my fingers aren't wide enough. Go down. I got to pick my address from here. There. Okay. Sheesh. So now I'm going to pick the K2 right there, like so. Now we're going to go back. We're going to submit that. So that changes. Settings are all changed up. So now that they are both on the same address, it kind of tracks them both together. You can see it's now farming with both of those combined at 19.71 terabytes. Income is currently sitting around 14 cents per day. You can change it to daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever. Let's actually find out. Daily. So yeah, daily, weekly, or monthly, you can switch that over to. And as you can see, we'll come into here, and I'll just go to manage evergreen, and I'll swap back to the original one right there. Go back, and then we will come in. Oh my gosh, this is kind of a pain here, guys. Sorry. And you can see it shows the exact same thing. So that's how you would normally with like your mining rigs. You point them all towards the same address. You can track your total between all your rigs, and that's pretty much the same thing that's happening here. So it is a nice feature when you do add multi evergreens or miners together here, that you can actually do that within the app. It makes it nice and easy and simple to look at. All right guys, and here I have them both put together here. Now they're on their own separate systems. I got the orange drive with the orange hub and the evergreen hub with the evergreen drive here. So they're on their own thing, hiving together in harmony as one major rig. So thank you for checking out this video, guys. If you're looking for anything from Bitcoin merch, all those solo Bitcoin miners and so on, be sure to check that link down in the description. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.